ngủ. Ê, ngủ.
Nào.
Mahmoud Pele.
Well, football is, of course, ultimately just a game, but for the next 2 hours, it might not feel like that. The stadium is full of noise and energy. This certainly matters. Well, the stage is set for a stirring showdown here. The supporters in great voice, and there's a real sense of anticipation in the air. Game on. And as you can see, we've already started here. Which player takes a shot! Goal!
Rất là
Barcelona!
vậy. Em chẳng thấy nào vào cả. Thế giờ hỏng rồi. Em làm ăn này chắc tôi rất là buồn.
The perfect show of intent, great purpose, great industry, and great confidence. And that is about as cool as they come. He picked his spot expertly. Well, Peter, I think the keeper knew straight away he was never going to get to it. Argentina are already chasing the game. They didn't envisage that. Knocks it into space. Thuram. Gravenberg goes steaming forward. Vinicius Junior. Yamal.
Nhiều quá.
This is Hazard. Yamal. Now it's Puskas. And that interception was most necessary. That's great positioning, so good from him. Tries to pass it through.
Thua mất.
Tries to play it through.
Thua mất anh em ạ. Đá đần quá. Nào tập sợ ghét cả xô thế nào.
Triol. Yamal. And it's Puyol. Ah, he's given it away. And that's a goal kick. Thuram. More and more pressure on the ball here. It's Vinicius Junior. Argentina are seeing plenty of the ball, but for now they trail. Yamal. Oh, now here's an interesting matchup. Oh, lovely feed, he is such a good mover. Oh, well played. Not the most accurate pass. And it's Vitinha. Oh, it's a great ball here. And that is expertly dealt with. And there's his chance to lead the counter. Oh, good read. It looked as though that might lead to something quite promising, but it turned out that that was not the case. And this is Marmoush. Yamal going face to face with his great rival. Soboslai.
Được. Xi Manh đá thế à?
That's a good block, but at the expense of a corner. And we have our very first corner. And he gets rid in a hurry. Argentina are looking to go forward now. Nice control. That looks a foul. Yep, referee's given it. Gravenberg, well seen, saw that coming.
That was well played, well stopped.
For a moment you felt that was going somewhere, but they'll have to go again. Now it's Puskas, just coming up to the 30-minute mark. Out to the left it goes. Now it's Saint-Maximin. Hoisted in. Well cut out, no margin for error there at all. Now it's Hazard. That's fabulous. Barcelona are looking to break at pace, looking for options for movement, and he's intervened well there. Puskas, Vitinha, Saint-Maximin, spread out to the left. Oh, he's enjoyed that. He evidently loves the contest. Now it's Kukçu. He's beautifully weighted. He has found the way through. And that should get the job done. It's loose now, they want to get it back.
Mấy giờ ông Long nó dậy đây Long? Long, mấy giờ rồi?
It's their second corner of the game.
Đúng 11 giờ đứng lên nhá. Tôi mà nói nữa thôi từ đây ông khỏi chơi nhá. Ông tắt auto cho tôi nghe chưa? Cái gì? Không, tắt đi. Mẹ mày nó không đồng ý.
I just thought that was going to hit the outside of the post for a moment there, but it just curled enough to catch the inside for a very good strike.
Barcelona are now luxuriating in a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, and you have to say that the contrast of moods are very visible now. They really fancy themselves to go and wrap things up.
Now it's Saint-Maximin. Vitinha. Good ball, good take.
Well, that was well positioned and well pitched. They can't hurt with their backs to goal.
Vieira. And the whistle goes for half-time. So your views on the first half?
Argentina really should be thinking about killing this off early in the second half, Peter. The boss will be demanding the same level of intensity from his team, so I'd expect to see the same positive intent after the break, the same purpose again.
And if you have just joined us, well, we've just begun the second period here.
Okay.
I think it'll be fascinating to see how they're going to change their approach here. They have to go for it and try and pull them back, but they also have to be aware that going 3 down will probably seal their fate.
Yeah, he's pulled him up for that challenge. Well, you might think he got off lightly. It is just a verbal warning. Puskas looking to play it into the box. And there's not much doubt that this will be played into the penalty area. Chance! It's hit the
Lên trở lên.
Kicking himself at the moment, and believe me, I know how that feels.
Well, who saw that coming? It has certainly made things interesting. Lukaku!
Cười đã dần thì đến mức hết tính, cười quá.
Denied by an instinctive save.
I think he's done great there, both reading it and dealing with it.
And the goalkeeper's got a good palm to that. And now a sudden chance to counter.
Ôi Đam ơi Đam.
Pass isn't the best. That'll do under the circumstances. And this is Marmoush. And that's been intercepted.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Now, what about a counter-attack? Oh, super find. Oh, he had to make that, and he did make it.
Well, that'll certainly improve their move. All the talking, both tactical and motivational, in that half-time dressing room seems to have paid off for the moment, at least.
And here's Marmoush. Well, it didn't look good for a while, but that was brave defending, and they got away with it.
Yeah, they showed a vulnerability until the move was stifled. That'll have stirred a little concern.
And he's straight offside.
Messi. Dembele.
Argentina can now introduce the first of their substitutes. Lovely pass, but can he get there? That's good play. Shot, surely! Oh, the ball's run loose here. And that was very necessary.
Well,
Trời ơi,
Peter,
cái
just
số không được
see
luôn.
how a lot of the attacking
Osimhen.
players aren't dropping back anymore.
And that means just one thing, I suppose.
Yeah, they
Ý
just
heo
simply
vì
will
gọi cái số
engage in
trường.
counter-attack. Lookman, if they want to counter, they could do with more speed.
Lookman! That is lovely. And this is Messi. Messi's cross. Good read, needed to be. He can get that clear. And it's Messi.
That's exactly what they need to keep doing. Carry on plugging away, and eventually you might just get that little break.
There is an irresistible, irrepressible look about them here.
Well, the question now is whether they can sustain it.
Swung over. Vitinha. It's a threatening ball. He's real chance! Well, that wasn't too dissimilar to the previous attempt.
Well, the breakthrough hasn't come yet, Peter, but you do feel they're upping the ante here. They'll get the reward if they can stick at this.
Played into space. Hazard in acres of space. Chance for a shot! They've done it! How very
Ồ
smart.
mẹ,
He just
quệ
got it
chán
right,
thế.
and his manager couldn't look happier. That's the kind of interplay they've been working on in training, and it came off beautifully.
And now he has two. Barcelona take a two-goal lead and are looking good for the win.
The crowd are calling for this to be put to bed. There's little sympathy about it.
Now that looks a decent ball. Nicely aimed pass.
Oh, great feat, that.
Marmoush played out to the left flank. And he was quick to react. And that's another throw. Yeah, he's fouled him there. has resisted the temptation to go to his pocket. It's just a stern lecture. So he's plotting something before playing it in. It's a mighty effort! And that would have been game, set and match.
Well, he's a bit complacent there, I thought, Peter. Maybe he thinks the game is already won.
Dembele providing an outlet on that flank. Kukçu. Marmoush. And there's green grass ahead of him. A slightly better ball would have led to a very different outcome there.
Well, I think the opposition saw that pass coming a mile off, and it wasn't the best decision.
Now it's Darwin. Lookman. And this is Messi. Azar. And Jamal. Vitinha has given away a free kick. Oh no, that was never going to make it. And it's Eze. Dembele. Whistle's gone, that's foul. Oh, that's looking, always looked it.
Well, sometimes a loose foul can trigger a completely different spell of play, and it makes even less sense.
Yeah. Thuram. Now it's Eze. Dembele. Eze. Oh, that's nice. Great chance! They've scored! Deep into injury time!
เป็นเกมสูร้อยเกมมือครับร้อยเกม
Defender's nightmare. You try to send him one way, and he just slips the other.
Argentina give them...
ครับร้อยเกม
That's at the end. Well, that was intense. An enjoyable contest that either could easily have won, ultimately decided by just the odd goal. what a sight this is. The colour, the choreography, the camaraderie. The fans have pulled out all the stops to make this a monumental occasion.
Against Argentina.
There's nothing quite like
Ngủ
match
đi,
day,
nhanh.
especially here. This crowd
Tắt
doesn't
máy
do
đi, sáng mai
ordinary,
ngủ dậy
and we
sớm
should be in
thì
for something
tính
very
tiếp.
special. If it just
Thằng này
continues to
mày
be
bảo không cho em cam mày vẫn để à, Cả Long?
Well, there was a time when Hungary ruled world football, inspired by the mighty Magyars, a team that went 32 games unbeaten, which was something quite unheard of in those days, and leading their front line was a man known as the Galloping Major.
Ferenc Puskas, a man who boasted a strike
Ngủ
rate
cái gì?
greater than a goal a game. And this is a career which spanned nigh on 800 games.
Ngủ chưa?
Incredible, quite incredible.
Absolutely so,
Hả?
described as beyond world class, a
Quay
player
thẻ
from
gì
the
đấy?
land of dreams. What will Hungary's greatest ever magician have up his sleeve today?
Lots.
Puskas. It's run loose here. And it's McAllister. And that interception was most necessary.
That was well played, well stopped.
He's picked his way through. There's the delivery. Climbs up big.
À, giữa mõm luôn.
He will be
Có
as
cancel
livid with himself.
khá ổn của Dũng, vận động viên Dũng ở bên này rồi.
Caceres. Anything, Jim, to pick out of these early exchanges?
Well, neither side has really grabbed the initiative. I would say both must have come in with a view of not making any early mistakes. So we're seeing some conservatism here.
Aimed beyond the defence.
Ôi giời, chuyển về Dũng ơi.
Now there's a fine Kvaratskhelia!
Chuyển về, mẹ chuyển về chết luôn này. Phải chuyển về.
Well, was he ever going to miss that? Of course he wasn't.
Well, of course, it's great play to set him up, Peter, but you can't say the defence did themselves many
Ngủ con.
favours. They really should have picked him up sooner.
So, a breakthrough already. Puskas. Vinicius Junior. Lovely feet. Vinicius Junior!
Tốt chưa? Cửa sân đấy Dũng nhé.
What an absolute shame. The composure and imagination to set himself free. He should be locked up after that.
Well, the idea was a good one. The execution of it, not quite so.
Well, the pass wasn't good enough, and he knows.
Robertson did just about enough to come out on top there. Neither party overly willing to compromise.
Em chuyển về,
I'm
để
struggling
bắt
to
đuổi luôn.
work out whether that was brave or a bit stupid. Maybe both, actually.
Kola, Puskas, Yamal. Kvaratskhelia. Vieira gets over and intercepts. Oh, good spread. Oh, good-looking ball.
Well, I wouldn't quite advise they should resort to risk-taking at this stage.
He's had a shot!
I think that's great defending. He just made sure he was in the right place to block it. I bet you the keeper's very relieved.
And he's managed to get free. Thinks about the shot.
It's a decent chance to counter-attack.
Oh, good read.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Howson. Oh, can he get onto this? Turan. Saint-Maximin. It's Vinicius Junior. Can he get on the end of this? San Maximin receives it in a wide position. Plenty of appeals, but the referee is not interested. No, no way through. Lovely pass, but can he get there? Terrific header! He's missed,
Nó khá
but
quá nhỉ.
not by that far.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a bit disappointed with that, Peter. You would have fancied him to at least hit the target.
San Maximin, Vinicius Junior, and it's Vitinha.
Okay, being behind at the break isn't ideal, but there's plenty of time to reply.
Puskás receives it in a good position here. Oh, the movement is slick, the speed is slippery. The defence, though, able to hold on this time. Looking for the run. Well, that defending is unapologetically persistent. It's almost personal, and it had to be. Puskás has it out wide and in space. Oh, what a climb! No, couldn't quite control it.
Yeah, some good movement inside the box. No shortage of targets here.
Độ thì còn rất nhanh. Thái độ chơi ăn miếng, không muốn trả bàn kịp. Dũng đang biết mài tét. Tess.
Gravenberg gets across to intercept that. Kaká.
Vội rồi bạn.
Yamal, he is one whose deliveries we all know about. Vitinha, over to the other side. San Maximin. It's Vinicius Junior. And it's Gravenberg. And the assistant referee rightly gives him offside.
Có đẩy rất mạnh.
And we've reached half-time. So a steady, solid,
Long rồi.
more than satisfactory first half. They've got the lead, and that gives them something to build on after the break.
It's a dressing room that needs raising at half-time because in truth they've not really been at it so far. If the pep talk works, we may see a very different side second half. We need to.
And we are back underway.
Argentina really need to bring up their intensity and rhythm a notch or two, Peter. Just looked a step too slow on everything.
Yamal, the specialist in tearing teams apart. San Maximin. And here's Vinicius Junior.
We're seeing some really good pressure being applied here, Peter, particularly from those guys up front.
Yeah, and it just, I suppose, denies the others time and space.
Well, I would call it blanket suffocation. Every single player is committed to the press, and there's simply no way out.
Well, the defence just about came out on top, but they were certainly tested.
The less said about that pass, the better.
And that is a little undercooked. Gravenberg. And he welcomes it in. This looks promising. That's very neat. Harrison did well to emerge with the ball. That's a contest to keep an eye on. Argentina still chasing a one-goal deficit here.
Gì đấy?
Now it's Kvaratskhelia. It's all a little bit desperate, but it's got the job done.
Well, that tackle was immense, and so was the relief. The great escape.
He rises! Oh, and the keeper couldn't hold it. And he hits the net. Argentina are level.
Some heroic goalkeeping, but even that couldn't save them this time.
That's really good anticipation too, Peter. Just instinctively knew where the ball would be and where he needed to put himself.
Bé ơi, mày ngủ không con?
Substitution for Manchester United. Number 13, Kvaratskhelia.
We have
Number
got changes
20,
here from both sides, in
Elias
fact.
Hughes. Coming on the
Argentina
field,
grab the equaliser,
number
and we're all
18,
square.
Hazard.
Well, I'd happily watch
Number
this every
11,
week, Peter. This is
Felipe
exactly what you
Anderson.
want from a big game.
Substitution.
And it's Bellingham. Bellingham, someone who can always claim to be the most immaculate finisher. Robertson. Now that looks a decent ball. Shin to shin, bicep to bicep, but he wins out. Messi.
They'll want to make the most of this turnover.
Eze. Eze on a charge down the left. He is just caressing the ball. The ball goes in. Big header! Oh, he's hit the bar!
Trời ơi,
Kaka.
bé.
Hazard tries to pass it through. And that's put paid to a promising move. Lookman. Vitinha. Lookman. Well, that's surely a foul. Free kick. Just a talking to, I think. Yes, it is.
Substitution for Manchester United.
Probably be looking to play it square from here.
Kaká.
And taking a moment to
Number
consider their
15,
options.
Mbeumo. Coming on the field, number 23, Vitinha. Number 10,
He's
Yamal.
shifting through the gears. He gets big. Nicely spread. Yamal takes control of it and he's on the move. And no, that was never going to make it.
Well, there's no doubt that they want to win this, Peter. They'll have to maintain the energy and dynamism until the very end, though.
He is through here. Cross needs to be good. Oh, he's been goes for a shot. Goal!
Argentina phá đi Duyên
And
tạt
the
cảnh.
comeback is
Bây giờ
complete.
cầu thủ Argentina.
And he's only too grateful to capitalise on the keeper's misfortune.
Well, that's not the best attempt by the keeper, and he's just paid the ultimate price, hasn't he?
Well, this is what we've been waiting for.
I just think this has been a lesson in character, togetherness and composure. I think most teams would have crumbled by now, but this refusal to give up is brilliant.
Well, that is good. Super running, sharp movement. Came up
Kịp
against
làm
that
sao?
defender who was ever so determined.
Gọi là gì? Một khối thống nhất.
Substitution for Manchester United, number 24, McAllister.
Dembele
Coming on to replace him is number
sends it
14,
crossfield.
Bruno
Now it's
Fernandes.
Messi. He's got away. Messi. Batistuta. Good read, needed to be.
Well, he was given the time and room initially to hold on to the ball, but eventually he was squeezed that bit harder and the task
Gì?
became too much.
Thằng gì
I
với
think
anh em?
he's got to be a little quicker in his distribution then and get others into the match.
Messi carries the ball down the right. Stood up well to him there. The final 5 minutes. Now it's Eze. So much time and space. Chance! Really well taken goal.
À, xử lý của cái số
To the
chưa
group,
chuẩn.
and they are purring. Absolutely purring. Simplicity itself.
It's shocking, the ease with which he was able to get into the space, and a player of his quality was highly unlikely to miss that.
Argentina could not have picked a better time to snatch a 2-goal lead. Is there still time for a response?
Added minutes has been
Well, that's a
indicated.
really bitter blow. I think it's going to be very hard for them to find the character to respond from that.
He's gone for goal! Now, who's going to be first to this? And this is Hazard. Oh, decent chance!
Cái này đổi người mà lung tung nhỉ.
And the death! Is there time
Rất
for
là
one
điêu
more
nha.
twist? What a moment of brilliance. Control and perfect accuracy.
Yeah, the touch before the finish.
And that is as far as it goes. They are pumped. Boy, they're pumped. A tough win earned through the power.
Long. Dạ. Mấy giờ rồi?